Alright guys, so this is just a quick, really short, oversimplified animation lesson. I just think it's important to get this in. It kind of applies to pretty much everything you do with animations. So essentially what we're looking at here is the speed of the ball. So let me just show you what this ball looks like with linear keyframes, which just means going the same speed. So we can even have we've got the ball comes in over 25 seconds, stops for a second, and then leaves. Alright, so what we want to do is obviously we want to make this look better. So you could put easy ease. So if you hold all the keyframes, press F9, what easy ease does is it speeds up and it slows down. So then it looks like this. But you can see it's speeding up from the first point. So when something's coming in, it's to a stop, it's usually slowing down to a stop. So just for an example, let me get these two keyframes here, and I'm going to go to the speed graph, and this speed graph just shows that the keyframes selected, let's select these two, they're speeding up and slowing down. When you press F9, this is what happens normally. Let me just put them back to linear again. This is the speed, this is how fast it's going, and this is time. So this is the speed, how high it is, and this is time. So when we press F9, you can see that it's speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. Now if something is coming in, it's going to start off fast, right? So imagine a car pulling up physically, how it would actually work. It would slow down to a stop. So what we can do is we can click this keyframe here and bring this to the left, and it slows down, it gives it a gradual stop, which looks more realistic. If you want to take it a step further, you can pull this keyframe all the way to the left, and then you don't see that because it's still got a kind of catapulty effect here. So if you want it to be slowing in like it's just been flying in off the screen, when it's coming in, just remember it's slowing down. Typically, probably not the same in every single scenario, and then on the way out it's going to speed up and leave. So now have a look at that. So when you're bringing things in your animations, generally slow them down as they come in, speed them up as they go out. So I've done another example. So I've got a transition here. Now look how strange this looks. I've got, first of all, I'll put linear keyframes, and we've got two images. There's a null object. If you don't know what that is, don't worry yet. I've linked these two images to the null object. If I move the null, it moves the two images. But what we're looking at is the transition here. So let me, so that's normal, okay? So that's just linear keyframes. If you have a look here, same speed. We could do F9 again, easy ease. Looks a bit better. Now look what happens if we speed it up when it's coming in. Tell me if you think this looks right. Well, you can't tell me, but you know what I mean. See how it just comes to a sudden stop? You might want that, but I think if we go the other way, this looks more natural. And if you want to pull them in together, you can play around with this curve, and you can get a much more natural looking transition there. So the purpose of this is, let me just do one more example. I'll just create a new composition, and I'm just going to call it text, and I'm going to make a really simple text animation. I'm just going to write animation here, and I'm going to make this big. So if you don't know how to animate the text, don't worry if you're not getting it here. I'm going to animate the position. I'm going to hit position here, and I'm going to bring this down. Then I'm going to animate the start and go to 20 seconds and bring this all the way up. I'm going to go to advanced and do this by lines. You don't need to know this part of the text because you can learn that in other parts of my courses. But what we're looking at here is the animation coming in. So now we've got this animation. I'm just going to press Control Shift and N to put a mask around this. So we get this kind of animation. That looks alright. I can't complain with that. It looks fine. Because there's a mask, it hides the speeding up part of the animation. But look at this. If we bring this forward, it's really quick. What if we make this over like 1 second as well? It comes to a kind of jarring stop. Let's put them back to, let's press F9 and put these keyframes back to easy ease. And now let's bring this back. Look how much smoother that looks. And then what we could do, bonus tip. And the reason that we aren't animating the layer is because the mask will move with the layer. So if we animate this position, and then we put a mask on it, it's going to take the mask with it. That's why we animate the text property. And now, you can see that looks nice, but then what we could also do is go 3 frames forward, and that's how you get that really buttery smooth kind of title. So, and again, they're coming in, so they're like this. So what we could do actually before we close up, we could just go here. We could hit the start keyframes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just do like 10 frames. Bring this down to 100, down to 100. And we can animate them out. I'll select these keyframes here, and I'm going to pull them across because we want them to speed up like that when they leave. Then offset. We could actually offset them the other way when they're leaving. So techniques goes down first. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.